I swear, sometimes while working, it feels like it's hotter inside of the store than it was being out in the Kentucky sun on an off ramp protesting the abomination that is Ken Ham's Ark Encounter. But enough about that for now. We're here for yet another Whack-A-Hovind. He went on and did hopefully a more conventional Whack and Atheist last night. Rather than just a rage-filled fest of idiocy, we have a typical Hovind fest of idiocy. Sans the rage. Oh no, sometimes the man is just, weird. Other times he's just bitter as all hell. It's hard to predict how he'll be. But yeah, we are skipping Tuesday's video because I don't think there's anything of value really in there. No one's pointing anything out to me. And we saw that by Monday, Hovind was about back to his normal self from the likely mini stroke or whatever he may have had the over the course of the weekend that clearly prevented him from coming to the Ark Encounter protest. But he'll never admit that. I can only presume in Tuesday's video, he would have continued saying that, oh, there was only like 12 people, there was nowhere to park, and other lies from Joseph and the like. So we're just going to go right to this Whackin' Atheist, which begins, no joke, um, with finally this AI video someone had made for Dinosaur Adventureland. It is as absolutely corny as you would expect, as low quality as you would expect. Um, yeah, I'm going to preface this, and I know like 12 people are going to say, I can't hear it while it's going. I have the sound muted because it uses music in the background that I'm certain will at least fall under some revenue sharing or something, and I don't want to have to deal with that. You always get this stuff with creationists because one, he's not on YouTube, so what the hell does it matter even then? And two, they never really care about copyright anyway. Ad revenue and such aren't how they make their money. So I'm going to make sure this is muted, and we're just going to talk over it as it plays. Let me get it queued up in pixel vision. Yeah, look at them pixels and count them. So many of them. And I'll say hey to our lovely friend Justin and Laura with the turkeys. What up? I'm a turkey. What you gonna do about it? There's a video of pictures of Ken's crab chopped up. There were like a couple of photos of it on the trailer. We may see those again this stream because Hovind likes to mention the same things for weeks on end in his preamble. But let's get through the introduction here. As I said, there will be no sound because this is he plays music, or whoever made it has music in the background that I ain't dealing with copyright on. You got your panning shot of DAL. You got old man walking, just random clip from whatever. Oh, that wide view as the Ken Hovind thing just flickers up here. Some guy acting all tough in front of stuff, and oh look, crappy CG Raptors. Yeah. I just want to point out, or gonna pause. Look at this. Whatever this dude's trying to teach, look at all this. It's all too fucking busy. This is not how stuff works. And this was criticisms that we heard of Ken Ham's creation museum as well, and that it follows the same kind of thing where it's all too busy. There's just a whole bunch of crap to have to stop and read. And also, me being a person who's practically blind, and probably if I go to a competent doctor, I'm going to be very surprised at what I hear. I wouldn't be able to read any of that shit. Day one, let there be light. Just zooming in, and there goes Hovind talking, and he's pointing to the snake skin. Oh yes, the snake skin. Oh, I would love to let you hear what's not going on in the little bit of audio that said, "Oop, pixel dissolve," and then they have sound of the Tesla coil firing. And then I don't know who this is, but I don't even want to know what kind of stuff they've had to deal with being at DAL. Young woman possibly teenager, definitely young adult at the oldest. Oh, look, the view over the sand, all the red sand, and over the lake where that kid drowned. It was involved in that drowning. Yep, a nice pan shot. Actually, pretty water from that angle with the waves reflecting sunlight. And then it pans over to a Jeep and Kent Hovind focusing on his stupid ass little printed crap on a random stopping point. And then the classroom that they have for more of his stuff. It's ridiculous. All that, for lack of a better term, relative beauty that's out there in the gravel pit. It's still a piece of shit. And yeah, stupid ass dinosaur. I was gonna say it's still garbage. The place still sucks, but you get some natural beauty just by virtue of nature being intrinsically pretty to us, And Hovind is still focused on his garbage. But now we got a sign, dinosaur with a sign. Oh, DAL this way, and the raptor goes. This is where things get kind of stupid. Like, oh yeah, it does that little backwards thing. I just wanted to let you hear a second of that action stuff with sound effects. And so you got that thing. You got T-Rexes just walking stupidly with Hovind riding around on a damned four-wheeler with some kids. This man doesn't need to be anywhere near kids. Oh, there he goes, the paper airplane, because he's fucking obsessed with paper airplanes for some reason. And marching crash for the ladies. And the smaller kids who don't know how to do real things. Oh, we got dinosaurs that totally don't exist at this park. Kid flapping her arms like crazy. It's ridiculous. This is the video where dude's like, and someone made that with AI? Because at the end, we get the most absurd shit ever. After we go past this. And what's funny is you look at these dinosaurs, and while their gait is strange, and I swear that thing was growing 3 legs for a second right there at the end of the frame, you'll notice that they seem to walk a lot like birds do now. It's kind of funny. As if there's a reason for that. And this pack of animals goes wherever, and then Hovind riding whatever the fuck this is with the sharp meat-eating teeth. What the fuck? You gotta be a serious ass licker to make this for this kind of guy. It's so fucking stupid. But this is the crap Hovind's proud of. There's 3.5 minutes of this garbage. Or God gets the glory for his creation. Because, they can't just show, they can't come up with a special image. They gotta show, web screenshots that aren't going to be dated in a year. There we go. There we go. Let's turn up that. Let me see y'all's commentary. See, Sess at basketball with the little one. What up, peoples from Joe Cool? Hey, hey. This is old footage from years and years ago. That's Anna from the very beginning of this version of DAL, and I think it was Damien from a year ago at the beginning. Okay, I thought as much that it was going to be old footage. I had a feeling it was all archival crap. That was a classroom. It looked like a desert outpost in Afghanistan. Well, that's what I call that room, because Hovind spends probably about 30 minutes of the tour in that room, and it's just crap all over the place. It's insane. What in the AI exactly? William Wallace or Kim on his horse? Yeah, that's the kind of vibes it gives. But all right. Again, if you go... Now, this is what's funny is, on Rumble, this is just the trailer loop, as in the one that Rumble pre-generates. So this video also did not make its way to Rumble properly, and instead we're actually watching it on KentHovind.tv. So this is the quality of his crappy little website. But yeah, let's get to...
Wow, that's my first time to see it, Joseph. That's awesome. That's what AI can do, huh? Yeah. Wow.
Welcome to technology, Kent. That's also what any basic video editor can do, what any kind of computer artist can do, given the right time and the right motivation. And look a lot better, too.
Yeah. Wow. Now, of course, the real Dinosaur Adventureland is a lot more fun than that. We have a blast down here. Come on down. It is July the 9th, 2025. Tonight, Wednesday night, Whack an Atheist. I wear red, the red cape for the bull and all that stuff. Come on, get them.
Yeah, except that the thing with the bulls is that they don't like the motion that stimulates their already aggravated selves to be like, fuck it, I'm going after it. The red is just for show. And before anyone says anything, yes, apparently this is a feature of this website that it jumps back whenever you go from pausing something. I haven't found a way to turn it off, so it's going to jump backwards just a hair every time we pause.
Wednesday night, whack an atheist. I wear red, the red cape for the bull and all that stuff. Come on, get them. Okay, we're on a bunch of channels. They took us off of YouTube. That's typical. So go on, sign up for all.
They took us off of YouTube. That's typical. It's 6 months old, though this event happened. But, I'm still going to bitch about it to make it seem like every day we start a new channel and they just take us off, which would make us look pretty stupid for not realizing, that we just shouldn't be there. But that's not even what's happening at all, because I'm Ken Hovind and I've got to lie about everything because I'm a piece of shit.
Bunch of channels. They took us off of YouTube. That's typical. So go on, sign up for all our channels. That way, if they take one off, you can go find us somewhere else. We're on, let's see, Facebook. That's our biggest one. And then Rumble. And then X. And our app. Costs us, $500 a month to have that app, TV app. If you want to help with that, please do. $6,000 a year. Cost us, let's see, Instagram. On there, we're on a whole bunch of different channels. Push a button. Okay. Let's see. Share this message with other people. Like, share, comment, all that kind of stuff. It does something for Al Gore, I guess. His rhythm or something. Let's see. We did the atheist.
Oh, there's the crappy joke. We totally had missed it.
Or something. Let's see. We did the atheist rally.
No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. Are you seriously about to say that you were there? What the fuck, Kent?
Or something. Let's see. We did the atheist rally. 10 people showed up. Was that right, Joseph? A dozen? Yeah. Why don't you all come down here? Why are they protesting Noah's Ark up there? Why don't they protest the public schools for lying to the kids? Come on, to be honest. Well,
we're gonna be bitter and full of shit today, just like every day.
Schools for lying to the kids. Come on, to be honest. Well, you wouldn't know what honest is. You're an atheist. There's no such thing as moral.
Fuck you, Kent. Fuck you. Anyone needs a reminder of why I do this and why I'm as absolutely just crude as I am with this, because this is the kind of shit Hovind says. Yeah, you're a young earth creationist pastor who watches animal smut, probably has improper interactions with children on your own right, but somehow hasn't been caught doing that. You certainly enable other people who do. You're a grifter, a liar, a scummy piece of shit. And the world would be better off without you. But for now, we're still stuck with you. I can dish it too, Kent.
Saying is moral. Okay, let's see. July the 9th, right there, Wednesday, Whack an Atheist. We're still waiting to get an answer for this lady here. June 6th, somebody from Descended Media said they're going to do a program called Kent Hovind, Whack an Imposter, a Felon, a Fraudster. Mm-hmm. I'm part of a media organization producing a documentary on Kent Hovind entitled Kent Hovind, Whack an Imposter, Felon, Fraudster. We're wondering who is able to provide contact details in your media liaison officer. We don't have one of those, okay?
Liaison, Kent. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The word is liaison. Also, I'm be real. I cannot do this bullshit from KenHovind.tv where it jumps back regularly. So we're going to move over to Facebook. Give me a moment on that. Now I remember why I don't use this as my main source for reactions. That 5-second backwards thing it does. Give me just a moment. Okay, and hit this. And here we go. Okay.
Whack an imposter, a felon, a fraudster. Mm-hmm. I'm part of a media organization producing a documentary on Kent Hovind entitled Kent Hovind, Whack an Imposter, Felon, Fraudster.
I mean, you would have found out how I really felt about Kent had his chicken shit ass showed up, but, you know. Kent had accusations against him back in California, but he burnt down his house and ran away with the insurance money to Florida. Prove to me it didn't happen, Kent.
We're wondering who is able to provide contact details in your media liaison office.
As I was saying, liaison.
We don't have one of those, okay? Natasha. Kind regards. I answered. I said, by the way, there's her email, descendedmedia@outlook.com. You'll contact her, okay? Hi, Natasha. Kent Hovind here. I've whacked hundreds of imposters and fraudsters on all my channels. I didn't ask if any were felons. That's an ad hominem and unrelated to the topic of evolution being the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world.
Except it's totally related, Kent, when we're discussing you as a human being. Don't hide behind your self-imposed holy crusade of bullshit.
We don't have a media liaison officer, but you're welcome to schedule a time to come on my show live and ask me any questions. 855 Big Dino.
Yes, except for all the questions you don't want to answer, because for some reason, whenever people ask a question you just don't want to answer, Joseph cuts them off real quick.
Extension 4 is Joseph to schedule. Better yet, come visit Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox and see our Creation Science Center. Take all 5 of our tours where we teach thousands of people real science. God made the world about 6,000 years.
You know, if I wasn't lazy as fuck, I should call Joseph. Make a damn stream of it, calling him and ask him why he's a punk little bitch who didn't bother to show up to the protest when there was plenty of parking. I should know. I was there.
Ago, in 6 days. He owns it, okay? He makes the rules. We'll be judged by the same creator when we die. If you're not ready to face him, I'd be honored to show you the only way to be saved and forgiven and saved, okay? So please email Natasha and encourage her to do all her interviews for the show they are making live on my show. I'll answer any questions. See, they want to do a bunch of interviews.
Yeah, you want to control everything, Kent, is your problem. You're a goddamn control freak. And people are finally realizing they don't need to give you the tiniest fraction of an inch on that, or you will take the entire goddamn circumference of the earth.
And then cut and paste and tweak and make you say things you didn't say. No, do the whole thing live. Got nothing to hide, okay?
Yeah, that's why I do the whole thing live, so that no one can say I'm sitting there twisting your words.
I've done hundreds of talk shows and debates on many channels, friend and foe, and would love to do 5 every day. So if you know if somebody wants me on, call Joseph, 844 extension 4. If you know anyone with a podcast or a show, large or small, have me on as a guest, call 855 Big Dino, extension 4. Okay, you know they found 9,000-year-old rock art next to dinosaur tracks. Leaves scientists speechless.
I can't see the source there, Kent. There's a whole lot of pixels. Something published July 6th, 2025. And yes, especially for those of you who were with me during the art protests like Jess, y'all know I am like 2 inches away from my screen, zooming in, trying to see this. This would be a whole lot easier if I had my Mac Pro. But that thing's so obsolete. It's almost as old as some of Ken Hovind's jokes.
Guys, the world is not millions of years old. Dinosaurs always lived with man. There is no problem finding dinosaur and human footprints together, dinosaur footprints next to human artwork. There's no problem. The Bible is true. Petroglass.
Otaku, all you have missed is the opening of this being the god-awful AI intro thing that somebody made that included the stupid thing of him riding a dinosaur. It's as AI craptastic as possible. Looks like Ghetto Jurassic Park. No, Ghetto Jurassic Park would be cool. This looks like what creationists would do if they made Jurassic Park, honestly. Yeah.
Carvings in stone, up to 9,000 years old. That, of course, is baloney. Appear to have been strategically positioned near dinosaur footprints. In South America, found a bunch of, where's the article? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I mean, notice he's not going after the 9,000 years so far.
Ashley Morgan, published last month. No, a couple of days ago, okay? 2-minute read from dailygallery.com.
Oh, yeah, that's a real accredited news source. So much I can't even find the actual site. Like, if you type in dailygallery.com, you get a domain being available for sale. So, I mean, am I like missing something here? And I guess there's a URL up there. Whatever.
Go check the
I
article out
can't make
yourself.
it out to make sure.
Now that Trump's in office, go back and watch my February 1st.
Oh, fuck, it's February 1st thing again. Kent, Donnie Boy was in office for a week and a half when you made this video because Inauguration Day is January 20th. So it's not a now that Trump's in office. Also, you're saying this again like it's a thing that just happened. But again, you say this stuff like it's the first time you've ever brought it up. Just where did he learn to do things like this? It's like he's trying to do a town hall thing, a minutes of his meeting, but it doesn't work at all. And even if this was him going place to place to deliver a speech, it would still be obnoxious at a point, just by the nature of how dated certain things are. And by that, I mean, like, how it's like, imagine him in his prime going to a church, but it's being today and being like, go back to my February 1st thing, da 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 da. The church would be bored out of their mind before they actually got to all this stuff. He didn't used to do that. Then after this, he had to start having his town hall meeting every fucking day.
Open letter to Donald Trump, please, and contact anybody you know in the White House. Say, would you please investigate this?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm just going to call up my friend Ted and Johnny and Maria sweeps the floors. Yeah. Oh, wait. I hadn't heard from her in a while. Something may have happened. Oh, it's okay. I vote for Trump and it's not going to happen to me. Yeah. Yep. Totally knowing people in the White House, though, there, Kent.
Okay, look what they did to that guy and overturn it. Discipline the people that need discipline that did it to me. Pay me the damages and leave me alone, okay? Open letter to Donald Trump. Okay, we're open for free if you want to help. Join our 777 clubs. I'll give $1 a day. 31.
Bliss, you know, you've got literal like months of back content to check out as well. So
$1 a month to keep you guys going. If you're a member, I don't know who is and who isn't. I don't check, okay? But call Bobby if you have any questions. Or
Trump neither knows nor cares who Kent is and would never care who Kent is unless he was useful for something. And Hovind is objectively useless, so there is no chance in any kind of universe that Donnie Boy is ever going to give a fuck about it. And we should all add that, once again, Kent, being pardoned wouldn't matter since you've already served the time. And also, to be pardoned, that the part of the process is that it is an acknowledgement of guilt.
Krisha or who else? I guess that's it. Garrett, okay. DrDino.com, open for free for 9 years now. In the whack-a-mole game, the object is to wait till the mole sticks his head up.
Man, this screen's getting all too busy. Hovind's crap. You got his video here. You got his ugly face here. You got my stuff in this corner. We got the chat. Man, way too much going on.
And whack them back down. Adults love to play whack-a-mole. I played it one time. It was fun. I don't want to do it again, but okay. Evolutionists make a silly claim. And with
you know, seeing that picture and knowing that I think it was Big Bad Mama had made that picture of Kent playing whack-a-mole, done a little edit of it. Oh man, and they've been to Dinosaur Adventureland. I'd forgotten that. It's just funny thinking that, you know, I met them over the weekend. I met Gracious Crybaby / Big Bad Mama, Ambushed Apostate, obviously, Jess, Joe, Kentucky Atheist, Mandisa Thomas, the Skeptic, the Godless Engineer, Chris Mallard, so many people. And it's just wild. Like we're just friends now. It's just like, okay, we're all part of the community. We all showed up. we've united. Now it's just regular people to me. It's no longer voices on the internet, distant friends. It's awesome.
Evolution is true, and we swiftly whack them back down. So many atheists, so little time. Who gets whacked tonight? Well, somebody sent me a link, said, whack this guy. Sean B. Carroll. I'd never heard of him. He wrote a book, The Making of the Fittest. And he did a lecture at, I don't know where that's at. He's got nearly 1,000 subscribers.
Someplace you're probably not allowed.
And so here's part of his show. Joe, we forgot to check the audio. I'm going to play an audio in a second. Okay.
Most definitely not. Trump certainly has never been to DAL. Ooh, maybe we can get it raided if we convince him a bunch of immigrants are there. I kid, but that would be funny because they don't seem to check anything. They just seem to go based on the first tip.
This is coming in the middle of his show because he wants to show one of the evidences for evolution, the great and complex battle of life.
Okay, so the pizza, I'm kind of mad at myself. I didn't get any pizza. There's a reason though. If you see photos, you will see that everyone was out in the under the canopies. My dumb ass decided to set out a ways under the blazing sun as the skeptic's kid played back and forth around me. I'm not kidding. Going up to people, being friendly, running away from daddy constantly. It was kind of funny. I just look at him at a point and he looks at me like, kid being kids, man. So I was sort of in that little quadrant tucked away, baking under the sun. By the time the pizza came, I was so sapped after having helped set up at 8:30, doing stuff the night before to help. Um, a little bit of stuff, but generators are heavy. They don't move themselves. Setting the stage up and things. Um, I was so exhausted and so just like nothing in my body wanted to work right from the sheer heat that I was like, nope, cannot eat any pizza. As much as I want food in my system, I was already feeling a bit sick from the water. So I forsake the pizza for the greater good of Seth and I getting what we could packed up before we passed out. Me, Seth, um, Nancy of Apostate Sisters, and Austin Sims piling in the car and heading on back the 45 minutes to Ohio into the Airbnb where there was a traffic jam. So, no, I didn't get any pizza. I didn't even take any pizza home. I just needed to recover. Let me tell you, that car ride, aside from being absolutely exhausted, was fucking awesome.
Let me get that queued up here. Right here. Drag him over. Here.
DJ Minez, that video is the original source video is unlisted in an undisclosed location on the internet that I don't have access to. The file was given to me via People Connected. Audio clips and such exist. Claude Balls has done a few things recently since it came back into the zeitgeist of the anti-Hovind sphere. But there's not a single straight up link. Something I intend to do is potentially, if I can find the original interview, which appears to be gone now, is synchronizing the video to the audio, because I know it's that interview because you hear the interview going before and then after, pauses at a point. And I want to synchronize that to show what he would have been looking at the moment. But until such a time as I can get all that compiled together for whatever value it serves, consider it forbidden media that may or may not be accessible through some kind of method.
And
selection would favor the one and reject the other. And I want you to keep these principles in mind as I tell you some more stories about some other creatures, because some variations, whether they are good or bad, depend upon the conditions. So this great and complex battle of life that Darwin perceived, we now know it leaves a record in DNA. Now, I was telling you that it's an information-rich document. I want to give you some of that scale.
So I'm going to nerd out for a moment, and this is where pretty much my knowledge of Pokemon ceases, is third generation, so Game Boy Advance era. It's Zangoose and Seviper. Zangoose, this white with red lightning-esque stripes on it creature, those stripes are genetic scars from the perpetual battle that that thing and Survivor, or that species and Survivor have been having. They absolutely hate each other. And I think that is some kick-ass random deep lore. Makes no sense. But if you think about the way Pokemon is, it actually kind of makes perfect sense. I love that little element. Really want to play Emerald again. Need to get around to that.
About 25 years ago, if you took all of the DNA sequence that all the biologists on the planet had put together, sort of typed it out into its 4 letters, A, C, G, and T, and printed it in a book, it would fill the size of about 1 novel. If you took all the DNA sequence that we have today, printed out in those books, stacked those books, it's more than 2 miles high. And for the last 8 or 10 years, we biologists have been mining this record for insights into the process.
A lot more DNA record.
Yeah, and most of that DNA doesn't do jack diddly shit, Kent.
And all of it shows that the DNA is really complicated. Really complicated. And
No, that's not how the showing of complication works as a concept. You're interpreting it as complicated.
nobody would, with one brain cell functioning, would believe it happened by chance. But you believe it happened by chance. Go back and listen to my first comment, okay?
Of evolution. So what I want to do tonight is give you a few highlights and I think some profound surprises from this DNA record. And in the course of my talk, I'm going to tell you some stories.
Oh, yeah. Pokemon lore. If you think about Pokemon lore, Marowak. Every single Marowak's mother had to die for them to have the skull helmet. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. And then you think about your ghost Pokemon, and it's like, okay. You know, because back in first gen, it was like every single Pokemon became a Haunter, a Ghastly, a whatever in the end. Holy shit. Does that mean a Marowak could be fighting the ghost of its mom? The fuck? Pokemon is weird, man. All right. It is fucking weird, and I love how they just treat it as normal. Like how early on in the anime, there were like little butterflies and stuff, and then they nip that shit in the bud, and the only animals, damn near only plants that exist in that universe are all Pokemon, and they're inherently digital. That's another thing to think about. Pokemon are digital. They can just be encoded into the Pokeballs and transferred over the internet. Weird universe, man.
About some more creatures.
Creatures that demonstrate
Oh god, and every Kangaskhan is born with a baby.
evolution. I want to cover just one of them tonight. So, Sean, I'm going to sweetly and gently knock some common sense into you. This is not evidence for evolution, what you're about to show. I'll explain it to you.
And some of the steps in evolution that we can now see in exact detail. The most fundamental level at which evolution takes place, changes in DNA. Most of the stories I'm going to tell you, some you may not.
And you have to attend these lectures all the time. The continuous brainwashing.
Oh yes, but people are totally free to not come to your little sermons every night. Your whacking atheist and your psalm readings and where you suddenly go off on tangents about whale penises and such. Oh no, your members are free to not go to those. Oh wait, no, they have to
get you to believe in evolution. Students, I'm here to help you. If that's coming, if it's happening to you, give me a call anytime. I get calls every day. Somebody asking a question. Hey, my professor said this or this, or they want, what do I answer? I'll help. Believe me, I'll stay up half the night. I'll help you. I'll see you make it.
And I've heard before, most are not in textbooks, but they soon will be. And then in the last few minutes of my talk, I want to discuss how maybe this DNA record might shift the balance of conversation eventually in the United States regarding the acceptance of evolution. Now,
it should seriously be a no-brainer, but we have idiots like this to contend with. And look at that, fuck you look he's giving to his monitor, like, this guy's so full of shit. It's like, bruh, get a life.
Now, to illustrate this battle, I'm going to focus on just one dimension of the great and complex battle of life. I'm going to focus on the evolutionary game of hide and seek. The great battle between seeing and not being seen, which has been going on in the animal kingdom for more than 500 million years. I could have talked about almost anything tonight. There's all sorts of studies that evolutionary biology.
I ain't defending early Pokemon. I'm just saying, shit's weird, yo.
Biologists are understanding the process from. But I thought to sort of keep us a little bit contained here, this is, I think, the one that's most intuitive.
This is what magicians do.
To be in with the point of, and children have to be indoctrinated to believe the Bible. Like, this is a funny thing. I love this thought experiment, is that if all knowledge, all anything in humanity was just wiped clean and we started fresh, we'd figure out principles of science. We'd figure out physics. We'd figure out evolutionary theory again. There's no reason we would come up with Christianity or anything of the sort again. That tells you all you need to know about what is reality.
What he just said was, there's just all kinds of examples. I'm just going to give you one to make you think, wow, I better believe it.
Wow, Hovind demands only just one, so he can make it look like he tore it apart and make his people think, wow, Hovind knows what he's talking about, even though he doesn't know shit.
The one he gives is not even a good example. I'll show you. But they do this all the time, even in my comment section. There's just so much evidence for evolution. There's so much. Show me one. We'll take them apart.
Hey, Kent, why don't you ask Austin Sims? He's wrote a goddamn dissertation in just Facebook posts that are Facebook posts. Well, I'm sure in Facebook posts. I should probably go to his profile and check because we friends. On YouTube community posts that more than rival in just one of those the entire contents of "Hello, my name is Kent Hovind."
Look at it slice at a time. We'll take it apart. There's no evidence for evolution. None.
Yeah, we'll look at your God one slice at a time. We'll tear it apart. There's no evidence. None. Except what I'm saying is true.
Zero. It didn't happen. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
Animals are often either trying to escape being seen or they're trying to advertise themselves to other animals. And other animals are trying to see things that are hard to see. And I'm going to tell you stories along both of those lines. Now, I'm going to take you then to a battlefield where this game of hide and seek can still be witnessed today. And this battlefield is in southern Arizona, actually extends into northern Mexico, called the Pinacati lava flow. And you'll notice right away something unusual about the ground there. Because while you see these beautiful saguaro cacti dotting the landscape, they are growing out of black soil.
Oh, now that is a place I need to be. Cacti growing up out of black soil. It's so me.
Volcanic soil. And at various places you can see these outcrops of volcanic rock. And if you've been to this part of the country, you know that there have been all sorts of volcanic eruptions across Arizona. There are cinder cones out there. There's all sorts of lava flows. And over the last million years, a lot of the landscape of the desert Southwest has been marked by these eruptions. I'll show you the landscape is heterogeneous. Here's one of those lava flows cutting across sort of sandy, scrubby desert. So you can just sort of be walking through the desert and all of a sudden you'll just see one of these little fingers of
Love it. You see him staring. He's just waiting for a trigger word. There's nothing to say. Also, doesn't this dude look kind of like Gavin? Mr. Scientist, when are we getting Half-Life 3? Are we getting a Left 4 Dead 3? How about a Portal 3? Oh man, could you imagine if Valve did a 3-pack of those together? They could charge $200 and motherfuckers would buy it. Shit, sign me up.
lava flow. And you can see this lava flow has been around long enough that you see some plants taking hold, some beautiful flowers and some grasses and things that are growing on them. And
hey, look at that. He has nothing to say. It's beautiful. People, his cult won't notice this, but this is real-time showing Kent has no ability to discuss anything.
in order for this habitat to be used, to be invaded, obviously it has to break down a little bit, but this volcanic soil is pretty rich, so it does hold some potential for the creatures of the desert. Now, in other places of the desert, it's a very rocky landscape with just these sandy-colored boulders.
Hey, is that Captain Kirk up there? He's fighting the Gorn? Again? Dun, 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 dun.
Now, this battlefield has been well studied by Michael Nachman and his colleagues at the University of Arizona, who gave me all these pictures. And this battlefield is home to...
Hey guys, I'm not saying Simon Dan's in the chat, but Simon Dan's in the chat. Please limit your "oh my god, I love you" to one message at a time. How you doing, Dan? Good to see you. By the way, Dan, I presume you've got word that Kent completely chickened out on the Ark encounter, and his little crony Joseph took a creepy snapshot photo of us, intentionally cropped to make it look like no one was there, and then drove away. Bunch of cowards.
the majestic, the magnificent, and I believe the soon-to-be iconic rock pocket mouse. Now, Michael has drawn some portraits of these mice, or photographed these mice. And now, what's important about these mice, this is all one species, and it comes in two flavors. And I say flavors because Michael's referred to these mice as the Snickers bars of the desert. These beautiful little mice, they are the favorite chow.
Oh, yeah. Captain Kirk in the middle, Power Rangers at the top, and Batman at the bottom. Forgot, Batman 66, gotta have it.
Of snakes and birds and lizards and I don't know what else. And you may notice, as he's taking these pictures, that in certain settings, they match their backgrounds pretty well, and others, they don't. So here you have a sandy-colored mouse on a sandy rock. You have a chocolate-colored mouse on a sandy rock. It sticks out pretty nicely. Here's a chocolate-colored mouse blending on the volcanic rock. Here's a sandy-colored mouse sticking out on the lava flow. Now, why does all this matter? Well, these mice have been well studied for about 80 years by naturalists. We know a lot about their habits. We know a lot about their distribution across the desert. We know a lot about their predators. And if you think about these mice, you might imagine that a dark mouse sitting on sandy rock, well, it sort of sticks out. And if there's a bird coming by, that might be it. But of course,
I mean, this is just peppered mouths all over again. I can't believe Kent hasn't already just jumped to that. But again, notice he's just letting the video play. He has nothing to say here. All he can do is wait for a trigger. That's all Kent has, is an almost self-taught Pavlovian response to certain keywords.
for the sandy-colored mouse, you know, on the other background, if it happened to wander up onto one of these lava flows, well, it's lunch. Okay? And it turns out this is exactly what's going on in the desert. If you go out there today, 99% of the mice you'll find in the open desert are sandy-colored. And 99% of the mice you'll find on the lava flows are chocolate.
It's still a mouse. Oh, he's about to say it. He just paused.
Just so you understand what he's saying, on the sandy-colored soil, 99% of the mice are sandy-colored. On the dark lava flows, 99% are the chocolate-covered. He's calling them Snickers bars of the desert for the animals out there. Good observation. Very good. Keep going.
And they don't know the difference. There's no behavioral difference between these mice. What's happening is the predators are pruning these populations of mice to give you that distribution. They're under intense selection by predators on the basis of color matching. Now that's great. It's a great field, real-time, real-life example of natural selection. But what makes this story more powerful is that Michael and his colleagues know the exact genetic basis that makes these two colors of mice different.
That's some science I want to get into. I would love to actually be there with a geneticist, looking at, even if I don't understand it at first, looking at the comparisons of the genetic material and getting a crash course into what I'm looking at actually means. I love learning stuff that way. I hope to have more opportunities in the future for that. And that maybe the later part of my life is spent, learning a lot of those oddball things I otherwise would never get into through such cases. I also just want to take the moment to say that our wonderful friend Otaku X says, "Oh yeah, no spoilers, but if anyone is interested, I very much enjoyed Superman." Because before this stream, they had gone out to check out the new Superman film. So it gets the approval of Otaku X. So if you're interested, might wanna check it out. Wait, does that mean Kent's a sleeper agent? I think he's just narcoleptic. Nice. Oh, this is why I love my community. Let's see what Cunt Crash has to say.
Mutation that causes them to get the dark color. Okay, very good. It's still a mouse, still the same species, still interfertile. They're two different colors of mice. I'll show you. They've been using the same trick for years to fool students. I'll explain it in just a second.
From one another. I'm going to introduce you to this gene. It's the only gene, well, I'm going to name maybe one or two more genes tonight. It's called MC1R. It will come up again a little bit later in the talk. And what we know is that mice that are sandy colored, they have two copies of sort of the light version of this gene. And mice that are chocolate colored, well, they have one or two copies of an alternative version of this gene that has two mutations in it.
And you know, this is the cool thing about genetics is it isn't just, oh, this instruction is either light color or dark color. No, it'll be weird complications like, oh, you've got one or two of this gene. Then you've got weird twisted versions that happen to result in the darker color that aren't just a drop-in replacement, but are like fundamentally something different. It is crazy. I just fucking love it.
And what we know has happened is that ancestrally, these mice were sandy colored. And then there were these lava flows. And in order for these mice, any part of the population of this species, to invade those lava flows and to exploit the resources that were there in those lava flows, as that rock breaks down and grasses grow there, these mice they're seed eaters, and they like to store seeds in their cheek pouches.
They got to get a zergling horde of over 200 of the little fuckers ready to go. I mean, it doesn't do much if you're fighting Marines with flamethrowers, but I'm just saying. Zergling rush, kick.
In order to exploit those resources, they got to get up on those lava flows. But sandy-colored mice are obviously...
Yes, I just fucking made a StarCraft reference.
Sitting ducks, dark-colored mice can make it. And so as mutations occurred at random in the population of desert mice, those dark mice had an advantage and could exploit. So this is...
Danger, the stream has lost all stability. Someone reconnect the phone cable, quick.
Example of two important ideas. First, again, life evolving along with the Earth. Those lava flows were geologic in the neighborhood. This is how we might up with them. And the second point is about the conditional nature of mutations and evolution. Mutation often has a negative connotation. Not at all true. Whether a mutation is good or bad depends upon the circumstances. For sandy-colored mice out in the open desert, that dark mutation is...
So I can't say anything about the StarCraft 2 family. I played the original and the Brood War expansion quite a bit. I actually kind of suck at them. And odds are most people in my chat could probably take me in any serious multiplayer competition. But for real-time strategy, they are very approachable. They're what I consider a baseline. For my experience and my history with stuff. They're obviously based off of Warcraft, so I can't judge how they compare to original Warcraft 1 and 2. But the original StarCraft games, yeah, I quite enjoy them. I mean, in the event you don't know, my surname online, Yamato, is a reference to the Yamato canon in StarCraft. So, yeah.
Bad, it makes them conspicuous. But for mice living near the lava flow and exploring it, that dark mutation was an advantage. So natural selection, it's a very conditional process. Now, the reason why I told you this story is it's a completely buttoned up example of natural selection. We know the agents of selection, the predators. We know a lot about these mice and their distribution.
So he's correct. It's a good example of natural selection. Right. Nature selected certain ones to survive. So let me just go through here now.
There we go. He got his keyword now. He's got to go into his spiel. Everyone buckle up. It's time for the same shit we've heard 1,000 times over. Time for time 1001. Brace yourselves.
The great and complex battle of life. Seeing or not being seen. Oh, you got camouflage. They can't see you. Here's the lava flow they're talking about, the dark color, and sometimes it's light color, and the variations in the pocket.
Otaku, you and others who have played the game might find it funny. I had, y'all know I flub up what I'm saying from time to time, and way back circa 2010 when I was playing StarCraft with an X, at one point I was like, damn it, I need to abduct additional pylons rather than construct. And so it became a joke of abducting pylons. Good memories. My God, that was 15 years ago.
Mice. Some are dark, some are light, and the owl comes by and gets the one he can see. This is, of course, I don't think that's been proven, but even that's that. Don't be fooled by these magic tricks, boys and girls.
I don't think it's been proven that the owl's going to go after the mouse it can see. Really, Kent? Really? You're going there? Also, you're calling it magic tricks now. Oh, you got a new tactic going on. No, it's not magic tricks there, Kent. It's stating facts. It's not hard to state facts when you're an honest person and actually care about reality.
Girls, this is nothing but a magic trick. They've been using these same old tricks to fool people since Darwin. Be
They've been using these same old tricks to fool people since the Torah.
alert. Jesus said, don't get deceived. Don't let anybody deceive you. This is a deception tool they're using, okay? He said it Jesus said it a bunch of times in the New Testament. Jesus answered, beware, take heed lest any man deceive you, okay? Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, okay?
Hey, wait a minute. What was that me there? Hang on.
Jesus.
Oh, no, there's a T there. I thought it said, and not after Chris. I was like, yeah.
Jesus answered, beware, take heed lest any man deceive you, okay? Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, okay? The modern magician, Shane, whatever it is, B. Carroll, is using the same old tired deception with a new deck of cards. This time it's a mouse. In the 1800s, when Darwin first came out, everybody started looking for evidence, and they used a moth. Same
No, Ken. I want to stop you right there. Everyone didn't start going around looking for evidence. Everyone started putting things they had already seen together and realizing what it actually meant. 2 and 2 was finally equaling 4. And not 3.976566640312117. I don't know. That's all it was, Kent. Suddenly, a lot of oddities made perfect sense. Up to and including the odd thing Linnaeus ran into of, okay, why are humans apes? That bothered him.
thing. The moth can be seen on some backgrounds. Same thing. Industrial melanism, evolution, outreach, bio.
Here we go. Time for us all to get a piss-poor interpretation of the peppered moth study, where Kent lies about 90% of it.
Medical Center. Industrial melanism and the peppered moth, an excellent teaching example of Darwinian evolution in action. The case of industrial melanism and the peppered moth has been used as a teaching example of Darwin, natural selection for half a century. And now they're going to use a mouse. It's the same thing, okay? I'll show you. Let's see.
Hang on, let me pop back there. Hey, Nick Summers, who commented down there on Kent stuff, why aren't the mice in my grass green? Have you ever seen a green mouse? It seems like green isn't a color that mammals generally develop in hair and fur. That might be why you've never seen a green mouse. See, you're so fucking stupid, you don't even comprehend the reason why the animals happen to be the colors they are. The very fundamentals of how this all work are a complete enigma to you. Yet people like you and like Hovind try to decry reality, decry what is actual science, while having quite literally no clue what you don't even have a clue about.
As a teaching example of Darwin, natural selection for half a century. And now they're going to use a mouse. It's the same thing, okay? I'll show you. Let's see. 2 days ago, when the pollution was reduced in response, let's see, there was a test of Charles Darwin's natural.
And 2 days ago, Kent. Good fucking God. That's not downloaded, Kent. You took a screenshot of a Google search. Screenshots of Google searches are not evidence, Kent.
Natural selection in action. It remains a classic example. Yep, the peppered moth. The evolution of the peppered moth is an evolutionary instance in directional color change.
Oh, well, that was it just got its fur dyed, Otaku. That green chipmunk? It just had a dye job. Yeah.
In the moth population.
Maybe it was trying to hide its identity from Hovind.
As a consequence of air pollution during the Industrial Revolution. The frequency of dark-colored moths increased because the trees turned dark from all the coal they were burning. Okay. Later, when pollution was reduced, the light-colored moth again became popular. Okay. So Charles Darwin's natural selection was an early test and remains a classic example. Now it's going to be a pocket mouse. Okay. The peppered moth is widespread in Britain and Ireland and frequently found in ordinary back gardens. Yet its amazing story has made it famous all over the world. It's one of the best known examples by natural selection. Darwin's great discovery.
Yeah, for having likely had a stroke, he seemed to have gotten over it quick enough, in which case, I can't really feel pity for him beyond initial empathy for him having one. It's like, okay, he's going to recover from that and go right back to this bullshit. Fine.
Oh, and is often referred to as Darwin's moth. Here's the story.
According to you, Kent. According to you.
The amount of smoke released into the air in England predict how this had affected the trees and the moths. This is from a textbook. I forgot to put which one. Oh, Prentice Hall, okay? Major publisher. The Industrial Revolution affected the natural selection in peppered moths in England.
Yeah, and Gideon's is a major publisher and distributor of Bibles. There was one at the motel Seth and I stayed at. I opened it up. I looked through it. I saw it was one of the versions you wouldn't have liked. So I was like, okay, well, Ken Hovind would hate this. And then I regretted touching it because it had weird stains on it. I am not kidding, by the way. Seth, you're in the audience. You can verify this. I even took a damn photo of it that I guess I'll post in Discord. Yes, I washed my hands afterwards with bleach and kerosene and a match. I got no skin. Anyway. So does that make them right, Kent? They're a big publisher of Bibles, so I guess that makes their Bible the best version.
Okay. 95% of the moths were light when the tree bark was light. Only 5% was black. This is the way they tell the story. As they burned the coal and the trees turned black, the birds could pick out the light-colored moths on the black background.
I just Googled, is Kent Hovind a fucktard? And the first result was Kent Hovind is a dangerous idiot. Ooh, do a quote search for the outright insanity of Kent Hovind and see if you get my website, because I'm sure you will, because that's what I titled the article. Think it's Bell's palsy or some other similar issue. He doesn't seem like he had an actual stroke. Touche. I don't know much about them palsies. Laura's at work. Hey, Laura. Would love to feel bad for Kent with all of the physics. Gross. Hotel Bible. Yeah. And Seth verifies I speak the truth. His reaction when I did that too was priceless because it's always so organic how I just switch gears like, ew, probably shouldn't have touched that. He just busts out laughing. Oh, it was great. Physical issues, but he's just such a goddamn fucking asshole. He's so mean and cruel. Yeah, so I can't really empathize beyond base levels. Hotel Bibles are always disgusting. I remember that moving forward. It's been a while.
And it went to 5% light and 95% black. That's the story. Actually, after 40 years of watching, they discovered 2 moths resting on the trees. What is 95?
Except that's not the actual story. Look it up. If you can manage to, actually read through it, it's interesting. It kind of bored me. But I could see it being interesting to people.
5% of 2. The pollution.
Thank you, Otaku. Just had to make sure Google wasn't censoring me. The Googles, they took me down from the internets.
Was so bad it darkened tree trunks, both by killing light-colored lichens on their bark and through directly blackening the trees with soot. Then somebody noticed the dark variety.
Oh, man. Seth popping up with more true facts. I was going to roll a doobie with the page containing the story of Joseph's, of Jephthah's daughter, but Chris talked me out of it. Hotel Bibles have seen so much and heard so much. You're a rabbit. Yeah. I was like, I can't disrespect the book, because what I was gonna do was I was gonna like take a pen and leave it open and mark specifically and like major focus on the section about the donkey emissions, but I decided it was not the right thing to do. So Hovind talks about morality and shit, but yeah, he says throw that version in the trash. I say the book's garbage anyway, but I still put it back in its place neatly.
Had become more common. Here's the places where the dark ones were common because that's where they burn the coal. So we got these moths. Okay, dark and light colored moth. The story was made up in 1955 as evidence for natural selection. Then it's appeared in almost every text as evidence for evolution. Jerry Cohen did an article in Nature magazine. Here's the problems with Kettlewell's story that they told back in the 1950s. The moth does not rest on tree trunks. 2 moths have been seen on tree trunks in 40 years. Kettlewell glued dead moths.
Hey, Seth, it's working. Oh, a little inside joke there. If you know, you know.
To the tree trunk to take his famous photograph. Moths have no tendency to choose matching backgrounds. They don't know what they look like, let alone what they're sitting on, nor do they care. Kettlewell's results have not been replicated in later studies. The shift in moth population.
Yeah, for as much shit as I talk online, it's amazing how decent of a person I actually can be, and I dare say am. That might be why I intentionally play such a jerk-ass online. But I am pretty liberal with profanity even in person, so,
Did occur, but took place before the lichens grew on the trees. A parallel shift in the moth population occurred in the U.S., but there was no change in the lichens. So, peppered moth is great proof of design. God wants to make sure.
Seth, are you sure you were hanging out with the same person? Chris is such a good dude, y'all. So responsible compared to my tomfoolery. Oh, okay, maybe. I get into my share of shenanigans.
The moth survived.
I remember though, Seth, you and I also had a moment. So my boy Seth here, Ambush Spa State, needed some shades. We had hit up Five Belows all through this damn great state of Tennessee. He didn't find a motherfucking pair of shades that was the ones he wanted. So we hit the first one we could hit as we got into Kentucky. So my first feet on the ground moment in Kentucky was going into a Five Below where this nice woman was getting stuff set up. It was early in the morning, just sweet woman. This Five Below had self-checkout. I'm like, what the fuck is this alien shit? You try that in Memphis, your whole damn store is gone, right? Okay, so he finds a pair of shades he likes. We'll get them and go on about our business. Seth is now equipped with shades because Ozzy tore up the other ones because his dog is nutsoid. Love that dog, and I haven't had a chance to meet him yet. Same with Mark's dog. If you're not in my Discord, good old Marky boy, post that dog of his. It's an unofficial mascot of the server. Point is, as we're leaving, I go to Seth, and I'm like, I don't know if you ever think about it, but odds are we will never interact with that woman again. From this point onward, our lives will probably never cross. And he was like, dude, I think the same thing. And it was a weird moment of, just many little moments we had of synergy where it's just like the weirdest thoughts just come in. And that's the way I think about stuff sometimes. I mean, I don't always say it because half the time people think I'm weird saying this stuff, which I guess they're right, but still. But it's just those things you never think about, or sometimes you do, but you don't think others think about. It's like, man, we're just interacting. That's just yet another human amongst many, a whole independent life. 350 miles away from me, and we just happen to intersect. And this is all the time. It's just wild. And, I guess that's where my kind of wonder and amazement at the scale of things, that's one element of me adapting to it. Whereas, someone like Hovind will just be like, well, God just wanted y'all two to mate. Okay there, Kent.
No matter what kind of background they're sitting on. Some of them are going to make it. That's planning ahead. Ford and General Motors, and now I've discovered even Honda, put heaters and air conditioners in some of their cars. You got a Honda, does it have a heater and an air conditioner? Don't they do opposite things? Yeah. Wow. You got a Mercedes, Joseph, an old beat up Mercedes, but right? Does it have a heater and an air conditioner? Both. Wow. And I got a Toyota. He's got both. And 330,000 miles. I love that look car. Okay, let's see. Only.
Oh, no. I'm talking about, though, the Five Below. You know, just it having a self-checkout seemed weird because they don't have that in Memphis. Just straight up, you ain't going to have a self-checkout at a Five Below here. It ain't happening.
2 malls were seen resting on the trees in 40 years. This evidence for evolution has been proven to be phony years ago. And your pocket mouse going from a majority on dark lava to being a dark mouse is not changing. It's still a mouse. It's still the same kind of mouse.
Yeah, Kent. And how isolated would those creatures have to be with continued subtle variations happening before eventually you wouldn't call it a mouse anymore? Even though, ironically, due to the laws of monophyly, it would still be the clades that its ancestors were. So at a point, cladistically, it would still be a mouse in the same way humans are most definitely still apes, still primates, are still monkeys, still primates, still mammals, etc.
It's a shift in the skin color or hair color. That's not evidence for evolution. Lamenting on the loss of one of their favorite examples, they've finally admitted the peppered moth is not an example that's going to help them.
Oh yeah, more of that abuse language. Admit you're a tax protester, Kent. Admit you're full of shit. Admit you beat your wife. Admit you probably beat all your wives, and Cindy's the only one who actually had gall enough to say something about it. Go on, Kent. Admit it.
Noted evolutionary biologist and vocal atheist Jerry Coyne commented on the fraud. He said, until now, the prize horse in our stable of examples has been the evolution of industrial melanism in the peppered moth.
Billy, I'm going to have to say no on that one. Just, I don't remember half of what I said. That's the real reason. Well, the story starts back in 1985. It was a cold day here in Memphis. And apparently I finally decided at the end of January to pop out into this fucked up world. My first thoughts, this sucks. And then, 40 years later, here we are.
He even likened his own reaction to the whole debacle as how he felt when he first found out it was not Santa who brought the presents. Yet, in jest, he lamented that the moths were not yet ready for the glue factory because he still wanted to hold on to them. He's still going to keep teaching it because he can't give it up. It's not true, guys. And I'm sure that Sean Carroll's not going to give up.
It's not true, guys. It's not true, guys. See, Hovind has nothing to say until he gets to something he can run his little script with.
On his mouse story for the next 20 years, he'll keep telling it to his students. It's still a mouse. How can you guys not get it? Okay. Even though the fraud has been exposed for some time, peppered moths are still cited in textbooks today as evidence.
Yes, Jess, we discussed this by a few months. We discussed this Monday morning.
For evolution. Evolutionists say that even if it's wrong to use the dead glue moths as evidence of live moth behavior, it does not negate the fact that the environment contributed to a change in the ratio of dark to light colored moths. Okay, I agree.
Then all your complaining is pointless. You just agreed with the key point. So, is at that point, is this just all a red herring? I mean, is everything Kent says a red herring? But yeah.
They didn't change anything. They already had both colors. Did any green or pink or purple moths show up? No. It was always been 2 colors, dark and light. Always. Windows to the universe. Evidence for evolution. Let's see. Natural Earth Science Teachers Association. They're telling the teachers to still use the peppered moth as an example of evolution. You guys are phonies. You're hypocrites. Okay, read my lips. You're lying to your students. There's Ask a Biologist at ASU. I think that's Arizona State. Let's see. Natural selection. This was downloaded a month ago. During that time, England was experiencing what is known as the Industrial Revolution. Factories were built. They ran by burning coal for fuel, and the result was dark smoke that covered the surrounding countryside. Trees that had been light and covered by lichens were now dark. They're still using the peppered moth.
Given our experience at the cabin, that doesn't surprise me. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact it was so hot and humid all the time, I would have joined outside more often as I was opening up to everything. But there's only so much I can do. Blame the tism. It's like I was making the joke about there's those like duck, ADHD explained with ducks, autism explained with ducks, taxes explained by kitties, and one of them said, duck wake up, air wrong texture, and I'm like, oh my god, so that is a thing. I thought it was just me. Like the only way to describe stuff.
A month ago. It's been proven wrong a long time ago, guys. It's not any help. Downloaded last month. Oxford University. University of Oxford. What do they got? Evidence for Evolution. Museum of Natural History. Peppered moth. It's going to be the same with this stupid little mouse. You watch. Guaranteed. It's because they're fooling. It's a magician trick, guys. Industrial melanism. These surveys alone provide convincing evidence that the peppered moth had evolved. No, it did not. Certain ones died, other ones lived. It did still stayed a moth. Let's see. Selective bird predation on peppered moth. Factors other than predation have been existing. Let's see. Industrial melanism of the peppered moth is still one of the clearest and most easily understood examples of Darwinian evolution. You guys are so desperate, you can't give it up, can you?
I mean, I'd still wear a Dare shirt. It'd be ironic, but
Yeah, can't give it up. Tree trunks got darker. Wow. Let's see. This is.
Oh yeah, the whole Hovind family has the creep gene. Even his goddamn mom looks creepy as fuck in that photo of them. That one brother of his with that hair, god fucking damn.
Testing natural selection. Tulsa Zoo had a display up there 20-some years ago showing evidence for evolution. If the moth is really evolving a new color to hide, why did they just evolve into green?
That's not how evolution works. It's not an intentional process. It's adaptation, selection of changes. Mutation happens. If mutation is beneficial in some form, it is more likely for that mutation to be spread amongst the population due to reproduction, especially if it happens to be a dominant trait, because genetics is funny like that. You're going to get your variations, and those are selected against by the environment. And if you get enough variations over time with isolation, everything not merging into where the population maintains homogeneity, you get speciation. It's not a directed thing, Kent, and that's a serious problem you idiots have, is adding a constant sentience and agency to things like evolution when it's a trial. It's not even a trial and error process. Honestly, it's a fuck around and find out process. Shit happens and it gets tested against.
Why the black and the
Crazy Hovindars.
white? Green, huh? There are moths that are green. Peppered moth didn't do that. Why don't they evolve into blue? They can hide on blue flowers, or red to hide on red flowers, or yellow to hide on yellow flowers. No. Still teaching it as evidence for evolution. Only 2 moths were seen resting on trees.
Hey, Kent. I'm going to let you in on something. You are talking about those moths hanging out on flowers. You want to know what moths hang out on flowers? Because moths did evolve to hang out on flowers, to have color patterns that allowed them to hide better on there. We generally call them butterflies. Yeah, a branch developed a little more color deviation and a few changes to the fuzziness. Because, usually you think of moths as fuzzy. I'm not sure exactly how it all details. I'm sure there's not so fuzzy moths that are still moths and not strictly butterflies. But point is, butterflies are a subset of moths. That branch that got a lot of the really pretty patterns are butterflies today. Huh. I'm going to use your phrase, who'da thunk it, Kent?
because they hide under the branches. They don't rest on the trees. But they're still using this as evidence for evolution.
Hovind hides at his 140-acre compound away from the feds.
Are you trying to educate students or indoctrinate them? The evolution of the pepper.
Are you trying to educate people or indoctrinate them into your stupid, pagan, God is himself, sacrifices him to himself, murder, death, blood religion?
Peppered moth, an evolutionary instance of directional color change in moth population. Yeah, this is what they're still teaching.
Oh, regarding dare shirts, I'm certain there's third parties making tons of them. Maybe, may not still be authorized ones by the agency. I'm not sure, but I think at this point it's become such a meme. It's just unlicensed copies are flooding the market just because.
It's just pure baloney. Okay, peppered moth is widespread in Britain and Ireland, found in ordinary places. Let's see, one of the best known examples of evolution by natural selection. Well, if that's the best you got, you don't have any. Okay, a peppered moth, an example of evolution in action. Peppered moths, an example of natural selection. Peppered moth, an evolutionary icon. Yeah. How evolutionary's poster child, let's see. They cut that part off. Evolutionnews.org. Okay. Study confirms the truth behind Darwin's moth. Scientists have revisited and confirmed one of the most famous textbook examples of evolution in action. Yes. On the dark trees, the dark moths blended in better. It's in a Spanish textbook. They're still teaching it. Let's see, Wikipedia. Evolution of the peppered moth over the last 200.
Oh, Wikipedia. You mean the same source you had earlier from your Google search?
Years has been studied in detail. Yep. You can read all this for yourself. I just get sick and tired of these guys using the same old trick, and you students are going to face this. The peppered moth is a great example of design. God designed them to produce a variety of babies, different colors, so some will survive no matter what they land on. They don't usually know what they're landing on or care. So the bird, maybe it is true the bird can spot the light one on the dark background.
Maybe it's true they can spot the light one on the dark. No, it is, Kent. That's how that works. That is straight up how that works. There is no maybe it's true to the hunting capabilities of fucking birds of prey. I don't think you understand just how good their vision is. It's ridiculous.
Could be. Maybe they get eaten more. There may be a selection process going on, but it's not changing it from a moth.
Yes, this is last night's Whackin' Atheist.
To anything else. There's a great book, Icons of Evolution. We don't sell that.
It's a garbage book.
One, do we, Joseph? I don't believe so. Yeah, we used to. It's a great book. Just get it from them, iconsofevolution.com. Evolution News and Science Today. Nobel Prize versus the peppered moth. The moth population shifted from mostly white to mostly black as the trees turned black. That's the story they tell. Moth population.
So he's used this Whackin' Atheist to talk about the peppered moth thing simply because a similar phenomena is discussed in that person's speech Yamato, where he talked about the mice. Instead of continuing and getting to anything substantial, he decided to waste his time on this.
Was able to adapt to the new environment. Okay, this helps prove we all came from a rock.
If Joseph doesn't laugh, I'm gonna beat his fucking skull in. Over.
The moth was designed to be able to produce a variety of babies.
Like seriously, it's not even funny. That laugh was so fucking forced. It's pathetic.
These colors, so some will survive no matter what. It shows the smart designer was thinking ahead. Peppered moth, we should praise God, not the dumb moth and the evolution religion. But they still keep it in there. A challenge to evolution. Yep. I got too much stuff in here. I'm sorry. The altar call. If we prevent our secondary students from learning what the science has to offer, I've never wanted to do that. I want to prevent our students from being lied to about evolution.
No, you want people dumb as fuck, Kent. That's your MO.
The evolution isn't part of science. You guys
Except it is.
just plow right ahead with your mantra. Oh, we got to preserve science. Yeah, I agree.
All right, you just go ahead with your mantra. Oh, gotta preserve religion. Gotta keep this God going. Oh, he's getting pushed into tinier and tinier corners, but we'll show them. We're just gonna lie about everything and say God done it.
So we got to keep evolution in there. No, beer is sold at football games. Beer has nothing to do with football. And
Yeah, and athletes don't drink beer while they play the game, you fucking moron.
you could remove beer from football games and still play the game.
Wow, yeah, it's funny because again, athletes don't play football while drinking. The fans drink to enjoy the game more, to have a relaxing, fun time. Your analogies fucking suck.
Couldn't they? You could remove all the evolution out of the textbooks and still teach science. Because evolution got nothing to do with it. Peppered moth, still not evolving. On ICR, great article there. Peppered moth on Answers in Genesis, good article there. Evidence for evolution.
Oh, you mean Answers in Genesis, the same group who said don't come to the Ark protest? Because if I didn't tell everybody or it didn't leak out, that was the line when Kent mysteriously stopped talking about it for those couple of days, was sources had said that someone from AIG had contacted Hovind and said do not come to the protest, which may have been part of the reason why he actually didn't bother showing up, yet somehow sent Joseph. Or had some clown send a photo and pretend they were there. Doesn't really matter. Chicken shits. Either way.
Vestigial truck. I don't want to get off another one. Okay, Joseph, this guy with his pocket mouse or whatever it is, he's going to run this for the next 20 years and deceive who knows how many students.
This crappy asshole with a Hawaiian shirt, he's going to run this for however long it is until he finally strokes out for the big one this time. And he's just going to keep on lying to these kids. Because he's Kent Hovind, and he's a lying piece of shit.
Into believing, wow, when I was in college, I saw the evidence for evolution. No, you didn't. You got it's a magician trick. Okay? Questions or comments?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Zumi, I brought that up earlier. Yeah. In 100 years, there'd be no Christians. If you just erase the entire memory, the entire identity of Christianity, it wouldn't magically pop back up. If you were to erase all our knowledge of science, we would come back to the same spot we're at eventually.
Would you be interested in speaking on the subject of why Earth isn't flat using Scripture? I really want to hear what and how to explain that to the flat earthers. Michael, there are many other people tackling that one.
Translation, I'm incompetent.
I barely have time to breathe. I don't have time to get into the flat Earth debate. The Earth is round. It spins on like a ball. It is a ball.
Yeah, he had said something about, oh, that's the altar call, and then moved on.
If it were flat, it would only be flat for a short time because gravity would pull it into a ball. Watch a drop of water coming off your faucet. As soon as it drips, it pulls into a ball. The Earth, if it were flat, it'd be flat for a few hours, a few months, and it would turn into a ball. It's never been flat. It's not flat. So no, I'm sorry, I can't get into the flat Earth argument. It's dumb. A family member that's been led astray by the teachings of Richard Dawkins. He no longer considers himself a Christian. How can I best help him? Well, I told him to call me. I'll be glad to talk with him. I'll debate Richard Dawkins any day of the week, every day of the week. Okay, every day. There's no scientific evidence for evolution. What you might want to do is is it a family member, and say, look, would you watch video number 1 of Kent Hovind's creation series? Nah, I don't want to watch it. I'll pay you $100 if you'll watch it. Nah, how about 200? How about 500? How about 10 trillion? Okay, I'll do it. Then you go back and renegotiate the price because you have agreed you would do it. So it's just a matter of the price.
Oh, yeah, that isn't scummy at all. No, you're going to renege on that, then up yours. It's just like my debate criteria, Kent, $20 an hour. That way it's worth my time to subject myself to real-time interaction with your stupidity.
These things, see, people don't feel threatened when they see a video watching a DVD because they got the control. They think they can shut it off. They don't know we've got them programmed where you can't shut it off. You get started, you'll be hooked.
What? You can't pause your stupid videos? Seriously? What kind of fucking moron does that? What if someone has to go pee? Are you supposed to turn up the Hovind with the door open and take a leak while listening to it? Oh, that's just lines on paper. The fuck, bro? Okay.
Are there 3 different competing books of Enoch? Yes, there are. There's Enoch. I forgot him right here. Can you see that?
None of the 3 are actually Hebrew, though. It's well established that they're all Greek texts that were translated into Hebrew.
Right. The Greek texts, the books of Enoch are interesting historical reading, but they're not scripture for sure. Okay. Go to, does avpublications.com have an article on Enoch? Probably do. They do stuff on the King James. Yeah. Okay. How old was Adam the day he was created? Day one, day zero. That he didn't look zero, though. He would appear to be, perfect condition, 72.
Yeah, Mr. I had a stroke or Bell's palsy or something a few days ago.
What do you think about aliens? I think Trump is doing the right thing. Deport them.
I didn't see that coming. I wish we could deport you, Kent. Of course, you say you're not a citizen of the United States, so by that logic, you were a citizen of the Republic of Florida. Ergo, in my opinion, that's renouncing your actual national citizenship. And so you should be deported, because my opinion is, deport all the Sovsits. That'd solve that problem real quick. Okay, you're not part of this country, get the fuck out. But that ironically would be a violation of their rights that they still have, even if they tacitly renounce them. Which is why I think holding soft-sit rhetoric should count as renouncing your citizenship. But that's just me.
Oh. Life in a galaxy. There is no life outside of Earth. Okay, God created everything right here. There's no aliens or extraterrestrials. It's no evidence for it. It's not scientific. You can believe that if you want, but it'd be a religious belief. Okay.
No, it wouldn't. Life is clearly made up of particular chemical reactions that are a lot of compounds that are self-replicating. Those are very, very common just by the nature of the lighter elements being what makes them up. But even more so, we find them in asteroids and all around the solar system, just hanging out. So it stands to reason that the basic chemicals to form life are abundant in the universe, and that if there is a condition where those chemical reactions can get started, they will get started eventually, and you will have life out there. It may not be anything like us in levels of complexity, i.e., development of sentience, technology, etc., but it'd still be life. It doesn't matter if it's fucking microbes. If we go to Europa and we find unique life forms there, microorganisms, do genetic sampling, they're clearly not at all related to us, but they're clearly life. Proves right there your entire mythos is bullshit, and I cannot fucking wait.
And would go against Scripture. Eve is the mother of all living. Now, there will be a new heaven and a new earth, but that hasn't come yet. Why aren't the mice in my grass green? Good question. And if the mice are more active at night, why does it matter what color they are? Yeah. Okay.
Because birds of prey still have damn nice vision, in case you forgot, including damn good night vision. You'd be surprised how bright a full moon is, Kent. You really would be. While our eyes are pretty poorly adapted, especially, given the way we live now, with electric lights and all that shit. It's full moon is like noon sun for your night hunters. They see you. Don't call us, we'll call you, is their motto.
Often wondered how the Pharaoh's magicians, through the weaker, were able to replicate Moses. They did, some of them. I've heard, I can't prove it, that they had a snake over there that they could pinch the back of the neck and it would stiffen up and be kind of paralyzed.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's a parlor trick and not actual magic, even though your book describes it as outright magic, its own kind of miracle.
And they'd walk around with it like it's a cane. So when they drop it, it comes to life again and turns to a snake. I've heard that story. I don't know. I would go to Matthew Henry commentary. He did that back in the late 1600s, early 1700s. Great commentary on the whole Bible. Hope you and the crew are doing well, from Nicholas. My questions are, do you think Jesus can punish people if they do not repent? Oh, yeah. A Christian, you're one of God's kids.
Punish me harder, Daddy Jesus, ooh-woo.
See, if you're one of God's kids, he spanks his kids. Now, he won't send you to hell because he promised you eternal life. My dad never threatened me with death, but he knew how to spank me when I needed it. See, if you're not one of God's kids, well, then God's going to be your judge. If you are one of God's kids, he's going to treat this like a family matter in the family. That's right. I have a question. It's the same question. Can you identify the prophecies, 1 Timothy? I believe the scholars have denied these prophecies to hide the gospel in many ways. Did we do that the other night?
Yeah, I thought so.
I needed that.
There went the mic. Did y'all hear that out there? Okay.
Actually, when he pulled it up, that sounded pretty cool. I almost want to sample that audio.
Hang on tighter here, bud. Okay.
I think he's trying to tie it to flat earth.
Oh, okay. Guys, I don't have time to get the flat earth. Get somebody else. Believe it or not, Simon Dan, who's an atheist, and I'll debate him every day of the week. And I put him.
I just love this. It's like, go to Simon Dan. It's like, Kent, if Dan's logic works on the flat earth, maybe you should reconsider how the logic applies to, the stuff that you disagree with, because maybe his points are equally valid because his logic is equally valid. I love that duality of you can be right about a lot of other things, but you're just wrong on this just because. Meanwhile, Kent, you're not really right about anything ever. Your video on electrical stuff proves that.
Many times in my Whack an Atheist, but he does really good on flat earth, and he needs to stick to flat earth. Dan, you're right. Debunk the flat earth.
On Facebook, debunking flat earth arguments.
Debunking flat earth arguments.
On Facebook, debunking flat earth arguments.
Facebook, yeah, Casey thinks he's put it on.
Okay. It's the earth is round, it spins, it goes around the sun. There's no contradiction with the Bible with that. Okay. Thank
Go back to Galileo's time and tell people that and see where you wind up.
you so much. My thoughts about done. Tomorrow night and next night, open mic. You atheists call in. They haven't been calling in, have they? What's the matter, Joseph?
I don't know. We had somebody asking tonight, and I told him tomorrow, so maybe.
Okay. Brock. Peppered moth, pocket.
Oh, you're really gonna do that again, Mr. I'm not showing up to the Ark encounter. It's not worth it. With your little stooge there, just taking snapshot photos and chickening out. What a load of bullshit.
Mouse. Get.
Oh yeah, slam that laptop harder there, buddy. Hope you break it.
What's the matter, Joseph?
I don't know. We had somebody asking tonight.
Let's wait for it again.
Okay. Brock. Peppered moth, pocket mouse. Get.
Come on, really, Kent? And I love how it stutters right there, so it looks like instantaneous. He just slams that thing. Dude, you're gonna fucking break it.
The atheists, not just dinosaurs turned to chickens, atheists turned to chickens. That's a good one. I like that.
Says the person who's too chicken shit to come to the protest. Fuck you, Joseph. Fuck you.
All right, see you tomorrow. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Bye.
Alrighty. Well, I don't have much more to say on that topic. On the topic of Hovind. 6 o'clock my time. I'm gonna relax, play some Guild Wars. Reset happens at 7. If I push a little harder, I can probably get the weekly done tonight. So that'll be pretty cool because I missed the opportunity to complete the weekly last week because, on the 4th I had to head out. Ambush Apostate can verify I did not play Guild Wars that whole weekend because I still can't get it working right on my laptop, which I had to spend a quarter of the weekend, fixing because I broke shit on it. Not like Hovind broke shit, I mean software-wise. I deleted the wireless networking stack. That was a genius move. Issued the wrong command at the wrong time. But enough about my trials with Linux and BSD and other good things. I am going to... Oh, Justice headed to Detroit. Cool. Just crossing the border again. Wish I lived where I could just cross over into Canada all the time. That'd be sweet. But yeah. Well, if I ever move to Niagara, New York, and that general area, I kind of want to. That might not be so bad. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here. Go enjoy the rest of my night. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Probably won't call Kent as much as I want to. I just have more important things to do with my life. So as always, much love. Catch everyone next time.